Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions Bitcoin Technical Analysis live stream. I'm your host, Matt Bateria, here with you today on this beautiful rainy day here on the Gold Coast. Well, guys, it's been an amazing last couple of weeks for altcoins because Bitcoin dominance has been plummeting ever since we hit that $36,000 resistance level. So where to next? Well, I can tell you one thing, if the dominance continues to drop, we are going to see a continuation with the altcoins. Right in front of my chart right now, we have the Bitcoin dominance chart. As you can see, it fell out of this bear flag formation that it was creating, and I think it's coming down to revisit the 52% mark, which basically means if Bitcoin dominance continues to come on down, it doesn't mean the liquidity in the market is coming out. It just means that the liquidity is changing from Bitcoin over to altcoins. So for those of you that do invest in altcoins, you've probably seen your altcoin bag doing quite well. If you want to see my crypto bag, I've got a demo $2,000 account that I invested back on the 1st of July into a bag of a multitude of altcoins. So you can follow that by following me on Facebook. Just find my name, Matthew Bateria, spelled B-A-I-T-I-E-R-I, to keep watching my journey with this micro account. The reason I created the micro account is to show people you don't need a lot of money to make life-changing wealth in the bull market. The portfolio at the moment is already up about 15% from the day that I invested that 2,000. I expect the portfolio to get anywhere between 10 and 20,000 over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. So make sure you follow me to check that out. But without further ado, let's dive into a couple of other things that I have been looking at and sharing with my clients. So let me share the charts. Now, whilst Bitcoin dominance has been falling down, I think I was just talking about the Bitcoin dominance and pointing out the 52, and I wasn't even sharing my screen. But now that I'm sharing my screen, you can clearly see that Bitcoin broke out from that resistance level that we had back here on the 30th of June, and then right about here on the 21st of October, we blew past the 52% dominance level. We're now retracing. I do think we're coming back to probably the 52, or maybe, we did just hit the 52.71. But I do think we're probably in a line for more altcoins to continue the upward momentum. It looks like the entire market has bottomed out, and now it's the time to start planting your seeds so the bull market can be lucrative for you. So with Bitcoin dominance heading back down to 52%, this is also lined up with the Ethereum Bitcoin pair showing a bullish divergence. Now, if you're not familiar with this chart, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, which basically creates a ratio, the price of Ethereum as a ratio in comparison to Bitcoin. So right now, one Ethereum is worth 0.05385% of a Bitcoin. So if you were to find 5.3% in the calculator of the current price of Bitcoin, which is just about 35,000. It will give you the price of Ethereum, which is roughly just under $1,900. But this price chart is very interesting because we can clearly see a higher high in price from this low back here on the 13th of June. And we have a lower low on the momentum wave on market cipher B and a lower low on the RSI. So this is what's called a hidden bullish divergence. So I do expect Ethereum in the short term to outperform Bitcoin in regards to its percentage gain or loss. And what I mean by that is we can see the price of Ethereum either stay stable or go down, and it will stay stable or go down less than the price of Bitcoin. So right now, what I've personally done is transferred some of my Bitcoin over to Ethereum because I think now is a good time to hedge against Bitcoin's volatility and park it in Ethereum. I think Ethereum will either stay stable or if it comes down a little bit, not come down as much as Bitcoin. That is the reason why I've transferred assets from Bitcoin to Ethereum. On top of that, I've loaded up even more on some of the my most favorite altcoins because I believe that they are just starting. They're just starting their run, and I do factor the majority of the altcoins in my bag will probably do a 10 to 20x return. So what else can we look at? Well, what I want to sort of also show you guys is the what else did I have planned for you guys? Well, let's dive. Oh, that's right. That is the total crypto market cap without the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can clearly see that the altcoin market was in this descending wedge for quite some time. Let me bring out my brush. So we're in this descending triangle. I said wedge, but descending triangle. And it looked like there was a potential that the altcoin market was going to collapse. Now, lucky some very smart whales decided to scoop up a lot of altcoins around about here. And we've now broken to the upside. So the next point of resistance for the altcoin market is pretty simple. We've got obviously resistance here. We can see it was resistance once, resistance twice, and this is at $407 billion. So you can see that the altcoin market still has, let's have a look, still has about 7% or so that it can go up to before we have a decent retracement, if we have a retracement at all. If and when we do break out of this W formation, this is a very common trading pattern, this W formation. Normally what you do in order to predict the price of the asset that does this W formation is you grab the length of the wick to the bottom, like so. So the neckline of the W, you bring that to the breakout point, and we can see that the next possible resistance level will probably be around $581 billion, which lines up perfectly with this wick that we got back here on the 21st of Feb 2022. So with that being said, if the altcoin market does reach those heights, and I believe me they will, we're looking at a 52% return, which is much better than obviously the returns you'll get into Bitcoin. Now, I'm not telling you to invest in altcoins, nor am I telling you to sell your Bitcoin. I'm just giving you obviously valuable information. What you should know is bull market after bull market, Bitcoin will reduce its return on investment. Okay, it's going to reduce its return on investment. I've talked about this a multitude of times on my channel. If we look at the Bitcoin chart ever since its inception, all right, what you can gather is when Bitcoin was released, it did a 3,188x return from the bottom to the top. The following bull market, it did a 575x return. The following bull market, it did a 119x return. And the most recent bull market did a 19 or 20x return. So what we can basically factor in, okay, is that we're more than likely going to do less than a 20x return. So let's just do a quick 20x return from current price action. 20x return would put Bitcoin at roughly around $3 million. Sorry, no, that's 198. Let me go. I did that wrong. 19x return. There we go. Right about here. $323,000 Bitcoin. Now, a few things to factor in because every bull market is slightly different. The last bull market, we saw the introduction of hedge funds, MicroStrategy, other big hedge funds getting into cryptocurrency and offering it as an asset that they can invest in. And we have, of course, in the news recently, the ETF, the upcoming ETF that is looking to be launched by BlackRock, ARK Invest, a multitude of different other hedge funds. Now, because every bull market is slightly different, there's a slightly different catalyst, even though we just kind of predicted the best case scenario could be 320,000 US, it could be more because of the impending hedge funds that are looking to get into crypto, that have trillions and trillions of dollars parked on the side for safer investments that they normally would get their clients into. Factoring in that is quite possibly a possibility. This could take obviously the crypto market into $10 trillion, and $10 trillion would make the one Bitcoin worth $450,000. So with that thought in my mind, we kind of have too big of a range for the returns on Bitcoin, but we can find altcoins that can outperform the returns of Bitcoin. The reason being is because they have a lower market cap. Some of the newer technology is better than Bitcoin. But the thing that sets Bitcoin apart compared to every other asset is there's no single point of failure. We know about the miners creating the security around Bitcoin and validating transactions. But the reason why people still go to Bitcoin is because there's no single entity of failure. We don't know who created Bitcoin. We know that it's very secure because of all the nodes available out there. But there are faster speed transactions out there on different chains, and there are tokens out there that really want to become the number one peer-to-peer method of transferring wealth from one party to another. Bitcoin is seen as, online digital gold. So as we have more and more bull markets, I do expect its volatility to diminish and become more stable, which also means a lower return on investment cycle on cycle. So if we take that into consideration and factor in that, let's just say Bitcoin was to do just a 10x from the bottom, we're looking at only a $170,000 Bitcoin. It's not too bad. From current price, you're looking at roughly at about an 8x. But there are some tokens that I have complete conviction in that are easily going to do better than an 8x. However, there is a little bit more higher risk with these companies because they could get sanctioned by the SEC, which the SEC loves doing. There could be some blockchain errors. There could be fraudulent activity like the FTX collapse last year. So there's a little bit more higher risk with altcoins than Bitcoin. It just depends how much of a risk you would like to take with your portfolio. This is why we believe that the majority of a portfolio should be comprised of Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe 60-20 split with the 20% put towards altcoins. Depending on your risk profile, which is something that we teach here at Breakout Solutions, it's important to understand your risk profile to see if you're a little bit more of a gambler that would like to try and invest more in speculative coins that can generate between 20, 50, and 100x returns, or you're a safe investor that's fine to be conservative and just buy Bitcoin, which from current price will probably at least net you a 3x return. So with that being said, it's up to you, it's up to you to understand and know what type of investments you're first of all investing with. Are you taking out a loan, which is something we never recommend? Are you investing through your self-managed super fund? Are you investing through a company? Depending on the vehicle of investment that you are using to get into the crypto market, you might want to be a high risk taker, you might want to be conservative, or you might want to be balanced that has a mixture of conservative and high risk investment assets. That being said, now that I've obviously explained everything to you, I've shown you that the altcoin market is obviously moving ahead. It looks like Bitcoin is on a little bit of a standstill at the moment. If we do a little bit of Bitcoin TA, which was the last thing I wanted to cover today, if I show you just a couple of things in regards to Bitcoin, we currently have a bearish divergence on the RSI with the Bitcoin price. So it does look like Bitcoin does want to come back down. If we look at the previous times we had bearish divergence, last time was on the 13th of July. Bitcoin did end up coming back down from 31,500 to 24,000. The time before that, Bitcoin did come down from 30,500 to 24,600. And the time before that, we had Bitcoin come down from 25,200 to 19,500. So right now it does look like Bitcoin is wanting to come back down. I was under the assumption we would probably at least get to 40,000. It's obviously still in the realm of possibility, but with the RSI indicating a bearish divergence, accompanied with a really simple indicator that everyone should know, the MACD. The MACD moving averages have crossed over bearish. These vertical white lines are the last time that we had the MACD cross over. Okay, so the last time was on the 5th of July. We saw, obviously, we did create a bit of a higher high, but then we had the impending collapse. The time before that was on the 1st of April. We did have a bit of a sell-off from what the price is at, 28,750 to about 27,200, and then we had a secondary rise. And then the time before that, Bitcoin was at 23,700 and sold off in a day to 22,400. So it was about a $1,600 drop. Came back up, then obviously had a little bit more downturn. So we can see that along with the RSI, along with the MACD, it does look like that Bitcoin is set for a bit of a pullback. That being said, with what I've told you about the altcoin market looks quite strong at the moment. Okay, we can see the MACD moving averages are not looking to cross over anytime soon. And if I throw in the divergence indicator, like so, we can see that we have not yet formed any bearish divergences. So whilst that may be the case that Bitcoin either stays sedentary or does pull back lightly, it looks like that the altcoin market during that time will continue moving forward. Hence the reason I told you at the start of this video, I've decided to move some of my Bitcoin over to Ethereum to reduce my volatility with the possible impending Bitcoin drawback, and hopefully Ethereum at least maintains its current price level or has some positive price action whilst Bitcoin continues its consolidation. Guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you like today's content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. And I will see you guys next Monday for the next technical analysis video. Bye for now.